Capri, Amelie ENT, and I'm on Tide with the Waves.
Yeah, about time.
Right.
Yeah, the
Glad to finally be here.
curator herself. Yeah, so appreciate you pulling up first and foremost.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, you're well known, you're out here, moving and grooving, but for the people that don't know, who are you and where you from?
Okay, I'm Capri. They call me the bestest, Amelie ENT. I'm from Suffolk. I'm straight from Southland, Suffolk, Virginia. And you know what I do? I just do what I do. I put stuff together. I try to do the best I can with helping our artists be seen and heard.
Yeah, so, you're doing an amazing job at it.
Thank you.
I don't even know where to start, but we'll just, start from the beginning, like growing up in Suffolk, or just in the 757 in general. If any, how did that inspire, you and kind of getting into this industry?
Well, growing up, I've always loved music. Like I was always a hip hop head, of my friends. While the friends was listening to R&B, I was always listening to rap and hip hop. So I've always loved music, since I was a kid. But as far as getting into the industry and, being a part of the industry, I met an artist by the name of LaRon Bishop. He's from Virginia Beach. Just met him just on some, we was in the same social circle. He was a friend of my cousin's and we kind of met. He was on the scene doing music. That's how I kind of got tapped in with the independent artist scene, went out supporting him. I was his manager at one time and I just got tapped into the who's who and, it just kind of went from there.
Gotcha. Okay. Speaking of getting tapped in, I think that's like a lost art. We got social media. So.
Right.
How important is it for you to stay connected to that sense of community?
It's very important because the community is everything, networking, meeting different people, seeing what, they can offer and how we can help each other build because none of us can do it alone, you know what I'm saying? So we all have to work as a collective and as a community. So I definitely try to, keep my ear to the street and find out who's who and, who doing what so we can all add to each other.
Gotcha. Yeah. So when you're curating these, I want to say events, but experiences, what is your creative process and where is that first step for you?
Well, it depends. It depends on, for instance, I do different type of events. I do open mics, which is not really a whole lot of creative process goes into an open mic because the open mic is where they just come sign up. That's where I find all the new talent in the area. Mostly people that I don't know, people I never heard of that, want to get their stuff out there. So it's not a whole lot that goes into that. But when it comes to, putting together my actual showcases, and concerts, that's where it gets, a little creative because I'm not just one that just, I'm going to just put this person up there, put that person up there. I try to just be real meticulous as far as putting together a show and creating a good experience for whoever's coming, making sure all the people mesh with each other, just making sure that it's a good vibe all around.
Yeah, and that can be, it seems, easier said than done for a lot of people that don't do it. So, with you, calling the shots and trying to curate that vibe, I guess what is that kind of timetable? Sometimes it could be quicker than others, but for you?
It's for me, I don't know. I feel like it used to be a little easier for me. And quicker for me, when I first started. But nowadays, it's just different, with the new wave of artists coming in. I try to get a little bit familiar with the artists before even putting them on my showcases, just to see, of course, again, what they bring to the table, what type of music they making, what type of crowd they bring in and things like that. So it can be, I don't know. It can take a couple of weeks, for me, and especially because I work. I still work a full-time job. I work every day. I have kids, having a life. So sometimes it can take a couple of weeks for me to actually put together one event. So it just depends.
Yeah. So I guess, with Virginia and all its creativity and the multitude of all the artists we got out here, like, how do you like decipher? Because I know sometimes you'll put out, hey, call for artists and stuff like that, and picking out who fits the bill.
Right. So just by looking at their pages, listening to, their music, just seeing what type of vibe. Because I do like a lot of theme showcases as well. Not all of them, but I do like a lot of themed where it might be this particular showcase, I'm looking for people with bars or lyrics. This one, I might be looking for trap artists. This one, I'm looking for all females, or Back Like I Never Left, people that haven't been on the scene or haven't performed in a while. New faces, allow me to introduce myself. That's the last showcase I just did. So I do a lot of themes. So, that kind of breaks it down and it's not hard where it's like I'm just choosing from hundreds of artists, just, picking anybody. So that kind of helps with picking who's who because I do a lot of theme showcases.
Mm-hmm. So you do your research.
Yeah. Which could, like I say, can be, it takes a lot of time,
Yeah, definitely. So, what, if you could tell the people, or whatever you want to say about it, what is exactly Amelia ENT? Because it's a lot that falls under that.
Yeah, it is. Amelia ENT, the way I, refer to myself is event curator, primarily. That's primarily what I do. I put together events, again, showcases, open mic, concerts, have my hand in industry concerts. I do event promotion for other promoters or event curators that put together events. I also am a partner with Costa Media where we do prints, posters, flyers, stickers, business cards, QR cards, anything you name it, help artists get on the radio. I have a segment on Hot 91, shout out to Hot 91. Take artists out of town. We call that VA Invasions. So it's hard. I got a lot of different hats. I do a lot of different things, but in a nutshell, that's kind of what I do.
Gotcha. Okay. So, also being out here, you've done a lot, more than the average person.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I know you're going to continue to do out here, but
right.
Is there a next step? Because I know a lot of people want to leave.
Absolutely. That is where I am in my stage of my career now. I'm coming up on my 10-year anniversary, and it's like, as far as the 757 in Virginia, I've done it. I've had, the Nora Pact and every venue around here. I feel like, I'm not going to say I feel like I've done all that I can here, but I feel like I've done a lot here. So I'm trying to find my next step or my next move, and I'm kind of stuck, but that's where I am. But I do the VA Invasions. I just had my last one in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at Bike Fest. That was amazing. We had a Amelia ENT set, and we got to perform in front of thousands and thousands of people. So overall, that was a good experience. And, that's the thing. Just keep trying to push out of town, meet new people, and just, try to connect the dots as we go.
Yeah, keeping it pushing. So you are, a manager as well. I do want to get into that. So, I guess outside of the event curation, you directly work with a couple or probably more people. So,
I manage. I'm not really doing much managing right now, but I do technically manage 2 artists at the current time, which is Young Trap. He's incarcerated right now, and No Slime Spaz, and he ain't working right now. So on the management side, I'm not doing a whole lot of management. But when it comes to other artists, those are the only 2 that I'm directly their manager. But the way I am is, everybody want me to manage them, and it's a lot. It's hard work. That's why I always turn it down, because I have enough on my plate, as it is. And directly working with an artist, being responsible for their moves, it's just a lot with what I got going on. But any artist that I take to, I'm gonna, still act like their manager, still put them in position to win, when opportunities come my way or whatever. But yeah, those are the only 2 artists that I technically manage right now.
Gotcha. Okay. You looking to expand? I mean, it could be down the line, but do you want to set up some type? Well, not you directly, but a management. I know that's a lot.
Yeah, it is, and I just keep saying I'm never gonna manage again. After if these guys decide to just quit or go their own way, I don't think management is something that I will want to further pursue. It's a lot. It's a lot, and then it's like, I don't want to say too much, but it's like a lot of the artists you deal with, people don't is loyalty. It's like you put in all this work for another person, and then at any given time, they can just walk away. And you done work for, X amount of time dealing with this person or that person, and then they just gone, So I think I'm gonna stay away from it from right now, unless down the future, you never know what the future will bring. But for now, I just stay away from management.
Word, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, with you talking about that next step, I know you Finesse 2 Times fan.
Yes. Were you there?
No. I've seen the video.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, getting to that level, working with, obviously, quote unquote, industry artists, is that something you're pursuing? Not managing, but just working with.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I definitely would like to, I don't know. I mean, it's just tricky because independent artists are my heart, They my heart, they my soul, they my passion, trying to help them get there.
Plug.
Huh?
I say you the indie artist plug.
Yeah. But of course, I feel like if the opportunity presented itself, I haven't been like actively seeking any roles to try to work with indie industry artists. But if the right opportunity presented itself, I definitely would be down with it because definitely trying to grow in any way I can. So
yeah,
never know.
Yeah. And then with dealing with so many people and, management, event curation, you got to take time to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how important is that, like, downtime and you taking care of your mental health?
It's very important. It was once upon a time, a couple years ago where, like, I was having events. I would have an event every single week. And when I didn't have an event, I'm supporting this G-Man show, this T-Rific show, this show here, wherever. Like, I was just doing way too much. And it took a toll on my body where I had to, take a step back. Like, okay, you want to be here to be able to attend these events. So I had to realize that, you can support in different ways. You can't be at everything and to be a part of everything, trying to show love. So it's definitely important to take care of yourself and your body. I'm getting older, you know what I'm saying? I don't really have any health problems right now, but my body was just giving me signs and warning, like, you got to slow down, So that's when I started to cut back, on the amount of events I was having, the amount of places I was going, the amount of things I was supporting because, and like you say, you got to take time for your mental, not even just physical. Like, then you have families and kids and everything else going on. So you definitely got to take time for yourself. You can't let anything have too much of you.
Yeah, definitely. So, with that being said, it's like, when you do tap back in, do you feel like that kind of refreshed energy is like, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Mind clear, new ideas.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I mean, when it's difficult, I feel like, because when it comes to artists, now I'm not an artist, but when it comes to artists and taking breaks and stuff like that, I feel like everybody's situation is different. I do feel like as an artist, you need to stay as consistent as possible because what I've seen time and time again as artists, they'll have that wave, they'll have that buzz, and then they fall off, they take a break, they don't drop nothing for a year, they don't do no shows, they don't drop no videos. And then when they try to come back, it's like, people don't care about you no more, you know what I'm saying? Like, they on to the next one. So I think it's just a fine line between being consistent and taking those breaks because at some point, everybody do need that break, especially if it's for your health, your mental health, getting your life in order, that's important. But at the same time, especially as an artist, you need to stay consistent as possible.
Yeah, that's
so I just wanted to throw that in there because, that's something I preach to these guys all the time, even my artists, like No Slime Spaz, like I tell him that all the time, but it's like he trying to come back, but, it's difficult to just get that wave back once you lost it.
Yeah, and, that's why I want to give you your flowers.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. While you're here, I mean, it's just like, it's tough being consistent.
It is.
And I mean, especially going through a pandemic, just where the economy is at.
Right.
Just being able to uphold what you're doing.
Right.
You can't take that lightly. So, I do want to say shout out to you.
Thank you.
All you contribute to the area.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. So you also do like graphic design, print and stuff too?
Absolutely. So I have a
Are you self-taught? Like, how did you get into that?
Okay, well, the print business, I don't actually, as far as the graphic design, I have graphic designers on my team that work for me. Yeah, so I don't do graphic design personally, but I do offer graphic design as a part of Amelia ENT. And then as far as the printing business, we have a warehouse where all the printing is done. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, let's really deep dive into this. Like, because you do it all. You got a team. Like, where
I don't have a team, though. That's my problem.
Oh, you don't have a team? Okay, you have,
right.
that you kind of work with.
Right. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, we got two things. Before I get to that second thing, so it's like, where did that, entrepreneurial spirit, come from?
It just came. Like, I honestly can't even fully answer that question, because as far as doing what I do, it was never something that I wanted to do. It was never something that I inspired to do. It just came, it just happened, And then from there, everything just started growing, but none of it was never anything that I inspired to do, or like, oh, I want to do this. And then I started doing it. It just kind of, I ain't gonna say fell in my lap, because I work hard, for a lot of the things that I've done, but it never was something that I inspired to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I guess that's the best way. I mean,
right. Or let it happen organically. That's the way.
Took the words out my mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, also just a part of that, entrepreneurship, like you say, not really having a team.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of work, and having to assign people this and that. So is that something that you're looking to?
Yes. It's like every year for the past 3 years, I make a post and I say, I need a team. I want a team. I know I need a team, because as far as the graphic design and stuff like that, the printing, I have a team for that. But as far as, the core of Amelia ENT in the events is just me. I don't have nobody doing anything for me, promoting for me, nothing. It's just me. And so I know in order to grow and get bigger, I need people, you know what I'm saying? And I know that I can't do it all. But the hard part is finding the right people, because it's everybody want to be a part, because they see what you're doing. They know you do your thing. So yeah, everybody want to be a part. But how do you know if that's the right person? How do you know that they're going to do the job the way I want them to do the job, or the way the job should be done? So that is my flaw, as far as, not really throwing out that leash to even trust people to help build, because it's you look around, we all live in the same place. It don't have to be just 757, just the world. People partner up, people team up, everything's great. They fall out, they on the internet cussing and telling all the business. I don't want that. I know nothing's gonna be perfect, but I want something that's gonna last forever. When it comes to a team, I want somebody that's gonna add to me as well as I'm gonna add value to them, and not people that just wanna come around to, be a part of something that people wanna really truly help me build. And finding that is the issue. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where to begin. That's my problem.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like you've been doing it long enough that it'll come and God.
Right.
Just because, you don't want to rush into it.
Right. Exactly.
People, so, that's definitely key.
Right.
Letting things fall into place.
Right.
Yeah, so
I'm hoping that it comes. God, send me my team. Send me my people. Of course.
You're not hoping, you knowing.
That's right. That's right. Speak it. That's what my daughter always tell me. Speak it into existence.
Yeah. So yeah, how, speaking of your daughter, how important is that to you, for one, and two, just balancing motherhood with you being,
right.
Say you're so busy.
Right.
I don't know your life.
Right.
You being on the move.
Right. It's now luckily my kids are grown. I have 4 children, 25, 23, 21, and 19. So, it's a little easier now because they are grown. But, balance is important. I'm big on my kids. All of my kids are doing their thing. They're all successful. I'm very hard on them. I'm very active in their life. And that's important as a mom, even when they grown, because, the foundation, you know, and I've always set the foundation for my kids, even when I was busy and doing this and doing that, because they number one, you know, God gave them to me, so it's my responsibility to take care of them. So balance, you know, is definitely important when it comes to parenthood.
Yeah, and you know, part of that balance, like you say, your kids are grown, but like when you was coming up, you know, what plights or, you know, maybe hardships, bumps in the road,
right,
you have to like overcome between your professional and
right,
your life in general.
Right. I mean, I don't know, you know, it was difficult, you know, in the beginning. I'll say it was difficult, you know, just trying to do this, trying to do that, and have the kids, and mom got this going on. But, you know, I don't know. It just worked itself out. You know what I'm saying? It just worked itself out. I can't say that I had any serious or major hurdles when it came to balancing my work and my kids. You know, it all worked out. You know, if anything, my kids, they helped me, you know, when it comes to, you know, my daughter I have a Juneteenth festival. I'm a part of a Juneteenth festival coming up. And, you know, my kids, they sit with me, they listen to the music when I took submissions for it. So, you know, they do their thing and they help me out where they can. One of my daughters, she'll work my door at my shows sometimes. So, you know, I get them involved as well too, where, you know, they got their own thing going on, but when they can.
You know, also talked about like all that you do leading up to this 10th, you know, anniversary. What's that about? Like, what can the people expect?
Oh man, so it's my 10th year anniversary coming up this August, and I have my annual events coming up. I'm having a pool party. I'm having an all black boat party on the Spirit of Norfolk to celebrate. I'm also going to be having an anniversary concert. I'm still trying to put that together now because it's the 10 year. I want to mix the old with the new. You know, like a lot of the guys that was on the scene and my favorite songs back then, I want to bring them in and just kind of just make it I don't know. I'm still trying to. Yeah. So I'm trying to put that together. So I want to see everybody there. That's going to be August the 9th. So
party, what?
August 29th. Then we'll be at Cousins Fest the next day. So
you busy.
Yeah, August is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm gonna rest all July so I can prepare for August.
Yeah, you got to, and summer will be here in a week. You know, how excited are you for like summer VA? I feel like it get a little bit more active. Exactly,
because people want to come outside a little bit more, you know? It's a lot going on. What were you going to say?
Oh, we got the Dome.
Yes.
The surf park.
So I know. Yeah. I just brought my tickets to the Dome, too, to the clip show. Oh. So I'm excited to see that venue. But yeah, I mean, I'm ready for the summer because VA is looking good this summer from the entertainment scene. Like, it's a lot of events going on. It's a lot coming up that haven't been announced. So I'm just ready. I'm ready for the summer.
Yeah. So who are some of the people you following in the scene right now? You know, I know it's a lot, but
it is. Artist-wise, you mean?
Yeah, artist-wise.
Right now, Wise Capo. He's doing his thing. He's definitely one of my favorites right now. Who else? Big JoJo, Ruger Red. They some of my new favorites. Pretty Loco. Who else? They the newest main ones, you know, that I like and rock with, but it's a lot going on. Breeze Barker back outside, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy to see Breeze back outside doing his thing.
Shout out Barker's World.
Yes, absolutely. But everybody doing their thing, man. I'm just looking and I'm loving all the new music. I'm loving all the mic drops. I'm loving what's going on right now. Yeah. So everybody keep doing their thing.
Yeah. So, you know, also one more question before I let you go. How can we bridge that gap with you? You know, you're into the indie artist, music, and the creative scene, but also with the economics in the city. How can we like continue to bridge that gap, you know, and get more of an exposure funding for these projects?
That part, I'm not a person to ask because I that's something that's was on my, I won't say wish list, but on my goals for this year, to dig more into getting funding from the city and things like that. Because even all the community events that I've done, I've never had any type of funding from anyone, just the community itself. You know, it would come out of my pockets or just, you know, my friends with small businesses that'll sponsor. But, you know, a lot of people come to me and they like, you shouldn't be paying for this out of your pocket. You know, you should be getting funding, but I'm not hip on that. So if anybody want to help me learn, hit my DM. But yeah, I don't know anything, you know, about the funding. I hear about it, but I've just never tapped into it or tried to learn for myself.
Gotcha.
So that's one thing I want to do this year, so that, you know, I can do bigger and better things and serve the community better, you know.
That's where that community comes in. So y'all heard her. You know, y'all type in any leads, but you know, speaking of, where can the people find you?
Oh, Instagram, AmillyENT, AMILLYENT on Instagram, and on Facebook it's my government, Capri Lawrence. Y'all hit me up, y'all follow me, y'all pop out. I want to see y'all somewhere this summer. We got a lot going on.
For sure, and I'm looking forward to episode 2 and beyond.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this ain't gonna be the last time you up here, so.
Shout out to Tidewater Waves.
Yeah, shout out to Capri, AmillyENT, and we out. Appreciate you pulling up.
No question.